Feels like every year at this time. Matt Ryan, kind enough to join us, the Falcons quarterback, just out of practice. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing great, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great. What was accomplished today in practice?
We just polished some stuff up. We've got the preseason game, too, tomorrow. So today was kind of just a little bit of a walkthrough of what we're going to do tomorrow night, kind of getting our first look at Kansas City. This time of the year, you don't really game plan much. So getting our first look at some of the defenses and situations we might see tomorrow night. So I thought it was a good little tune-up for us before we get into the Dome tomorrow night.
How much are you going to play?
That's a good question.
Wait, you don't know?
I don't know yet. Usually how it's operated for us is kind of in the night meetings the night before the game. We kind of get a rundown on, all right, you're going to be a series, 2 series, or 10, 15 plays, whatever it is. But, it's the typical for us this time of the year, maybe a couple of series. We'll see what it is tomorrow night.
You lost to the Jets last week. What did you see out of Sam Darnold?
I thought he did a good job. From what I could tell on what they were doing, I thought he extended some plays really well. I thought he was accurate, both inside and outside the pocket. And I thought he moved, pretty smoothly inside the pocket. So, it's hard to take too much from these games early on, but, everything I saw is encouraging. I think he's off to a good start.
What do you remember about your first couple of games in preseason?
Oh, man, they were a blank. I remember the first touchdown pass I threw was against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We were down there. It was in our first game, and I was in the dead wrong spot I was supposed to be against the coverage we were going. So the complete wrong read, threw it to Roddy White, and still caught a touchdown. So it was like, it's one of those things you're just keeping your head above water.
Speaking of the Jags, Jalen Ramsey had some comments on NFL quarterbacks, and you made the list there. Congratulations. Do you have a subscription to GQ, Matt?
I don't have a subscription to GQ, but obviously you can't not hear about the story.
And your reaction is?
You know what? I've played for 11 years, and so I've heard my fair share of trash talking from a lot of different people. And if this stuff kept me up at night, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So I don't pay too much mind to it. I'm about winning games, and I'm about being the absolute best player that I can be. So that's kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, so Jalen Ramsey said that Matt was overrated. How do you win MVP? Then your coach leaves, and you have a terrible year. He still has Julio Jones. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, the Falcons play the Jags August 25th as part of the preseason. Is that where you lobby to play a little bit more, Matt?
No, there's bigger things at hand than that. We've got more important and bigger goals to accomplish than trying to make a statement in the third preseason game.
Did you? What was your reaction when the Falcons were on the clock and Calvin Ridley is the name that's called the Alabama wide receiver?
I was fired up. I think with Julio being on the team, we've seen plenty of Alabama games, the night before in hotels. He kind of forces those games to be on. So, other than Alabama fans, I probably saw as many Alabama games as anybody. And, saw how talented he was and the kind of player he was. So I was excited about it. And, as he's gotten here and been able to work with us, I'm even more excited. I think he's a talented guy. I think he's a really good fit for our system, opposite of Julio and Mohamed Sanu. I expect him to do big things for us this year. I think he's going to have a really good rookie season.
Well, it's not like you can say, hey, can we watch the Boston College game, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, we didn't have the appropriate channels, I think, at the hotels we were staying at to watch the BC game.
Do you watch Hard Knocks?
I have watched it in the past. I have not seen an episode yet this year. I've got 2 twin boys at home, so my time viewing TV is not as much as it used to be.
How old are the boys?
They're about 6 months.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so it's a fun and exciting time for us right now.
And you name one Julio and one Jones. Is that right?
Yeah. So their middle names are Julio and Jones. Roddy White and Tony Gonzalez. I tried to include all those guys in their names.
Are you allowed to name? Are you involved in the process, or do you get one and then your wife got to name one?
Anybody who's been married knows that you're involved in the process, but you're not really involved in the process. No, I guess it was a collaborative effort.
What are their names?
Marshall and Johnny. So Marshall's the older of the twin boys by about 7 minutes.
So Falk and Manziel. I like it.
There you go. I like that.
Last time you watched that divisional playoff game against the Eagles that you lost?
Full was probably a handful of days after the playoff loss, but seeing cut-ups as we've gone throughout the season, plays and situations have come up, a handful of times. That
throw to Julio, would you have done anything differently? Just the throw, you might have had a different play, but just that throw, did you put it where you needed to put it?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. Yeah, I thought we gave an opportunity, but, we all have to, in situations, do things differently. I wouldn't have done anything different. The play call is what it is. Roll out and give, our best player an opportunity. We just, collectively didn't make enough plays throughout the game to get it done. But I don't think we would have changed that play at the end.
Matt, it's good to talk to you, and good luck with the boys, not only your Falcons, but the little boys at home. We appreciate your time as always.
You got it. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
That's Matt Ryan, Falcons quarterback. He's played 11 seasons. Does that seem like, wow? That doesn't seem right. That blew by. 41,000 yards, 260 touchdowns. So when it's all said and done, what's he going to have, McLovin? 55,000 and 300 touchdowns?
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.